Hi everybody, that's Allie.
And that is Dash.
Welcome to our playdate,
where we choose a game, sometimes make up our own rules, and play for a while.
Enjoy listening and playing along.
Or don't. We can't hear you. It's a podcast.
I can steady. There's a steady option in, what is it, Photoshop? Premiere?
You asked me like I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's like a stabilizer, almost. I mean, there's really...
A mood stabilizer for a phone.
This is the lesser of the two evils, because if I put it on this one up here, it will shake a lot more.
I don't know, that looks pretty steady to me.
It's only because I don't know. Okay. You're not looking at yourself.
Sure. Hey, little ghosties.
Hi, little ghosties.
Here we are in a car. We're doing an on the road episode.
Yeah.
We haven't done an on the road in a little bit.
Yeah, because it's not really festival season, so we haven't had to travel that much.
And we're heading up to do a show with some friends of ours in Delray. If you are ever in the Delray area.
Yeah, the Delray, West Palm, Deerfield, like that whole...
If you're ever in that area, there's some really cool people who do improv there. Send us a message. We'll tell you who they are. Tell you to go see them. Because they're fantastic. And we're so happy to be invited to go and do a show. Mm-hmm. Also, if you can notice, we're rocking a little bit of a different look today because we're trying a new thing for our duo. Yeah. So I guess we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
And we are going to do, this is a road trip game we've done before. It's called Let's Get Talking. It's a game that you're kind of supposed to play with your family, right? So it's like family friendly questions, but there's 3 levels: light questions, big questions, and bigger questions.
Okay.
So I guess we start with the light questions and build
work our way up.
All right.
And let me tell you, I tried this with somebody who wasn't you. Because, I mean, I play these games with you, but I know you pretty well. But I tried this with somebody who I was just happened to be on a road trip with, who I didn't know all that well.
Yeah.
And these questions really helped. Like, it helped us to get to know each other a little bit better. And I really feel like I knew them as a person.
Because you were like internet friends and then like met in real life.
Friends. We were internet friends and then we met in real life and took a 2-hour road trip together.
Yeah, that's intense.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting when you're like, hey, we've never said more than 4 words to each other in real life. Let's take a 2-hour road trip. Let's be stuck in a car together for 2 hours.
Yeah, that could go real great or real bad, real fast. Mm-hmm.
And then you have to ride back with them, which is the other thing. Because if you're their ride, you can't just leave them there.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, an Uber to take you 2 hours is going to cost a lot of money.
A lot of money.
And even if that person is like just a real bad person, that's still real mean.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Okay, so do you want to answer first? I mean, obviously,
I can't read, so, yeah.
You can't read. So I'm going to read all the questions. Mm-hmm. And then you answer, and then I'll answer.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Okay.
Are we doing, I think the last time we played this, we just did like 1 from each one, and we just both answered?
Yeah, we can do it that way, or we can do 2 from each one, like a card for you and a card for me.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, cool.
We'll see how much the answers take, I guess.
All right. Which fast food restaurant has the best fries, in your opinion?
McDonald's, hands down. Like that's not even up for debate. McDonald's has cornered the market on French fries, and everyone else is just a pretender trying to catch up.
You think?
Yeah. I love Wendy's fries. They've had to change their formula a few times. I used to love their fries when they were biggie fries, like back when they came in the yellow container,
right?
And they were a little bit thicker because it made them different from McDonald's.
Don't they still have like some potato skin on them, so it almost makes you feel like it's a real potato?
Yeah. Now they have the natural cut fries.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they're good. They're still good, but there was just something about those old Wendy's fries that were pretty good. The Burger King ones have always been sort of weird. Like
in about 9.5 miles, take.
Okay.
She's real demanding.
Yeah,
today.
She's really aggressive today.
Wow! Yikes.
Yeah, the McDonald's. I mean, Burger King has always been like 3rd or 4th in the list of fries.
I mean, this is more a you question than a me question. I haven't had fast food fries in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't either, but you've had them more recently
recently
than I have.
than you, yeah.
But I like the Burger King ones because they're crunchier.
Yes, they are. That I'll give you that.
McDonald's has a lot of soggy ones sometimes. You can get like one or two tiny little crunchy ones.
Yeah.
But I would say by and large the Burger King ones have a higher crunch to thaw ratio, and that's what I'm looking for in a fast food fry.
If I may, though, it feels to me like Burger King's crunchiness is to fries what soft is to Chips Ahoy cookies, right? Like, it just feels artificial. Like, to me, the crunchiness in the Burger King fries feels like it was placed there as opposed to being cooked in. Like, the Chips Ahoy
change it, and I think they ended up covering them in like cornstarch or something to make them fry crispier.
Interesting.
There's things you can do in a recipe to make things fry crispier.
Okay.
And I think I remember in my teenage years that they like did something to the fries to like make them crunchier.
Yeah.
Okay. So my question, do you like the music your parents listen to? Yes, I do. Yeah, I still listen to a lot of the music my parents listen to. I think we talked about this recently on the pod, but they used to play music, play records, play the radio around the house when I was growing up. So I love like James Taylor. I mean, the Commodores,
Bob Dylan.
But my parents weren't big like Dylan or Joni Mitchell fans.
Oh, okay.
But like they were into James Taylor for sure. Billy Joel was on all the time in my house. Neil Diamond was on in my house a lot. Like Gloria Estefan and Miami Sound Machine back in the day.
Yeah.
Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, I like all that stuff. Still, it still slaps.
I like the poppier stuff that my parents would listen to. The Gloria Estefans, the Celia Cruz's, some of the poppier, like, 'cause they listen to a lot of Latin music.
Right.
So I really enjoyed that stuff. I'm not as into the more crooner Spanish music. Like, I get why everybody loved Julio Estefan, but I could never just Julio Iglesias. I'm sorry, Julio Iglesias, but I can never get into it. And they swear up and down that Enrique Iglesias is not even the shadow of his father. So, like, he's not trying to be. He's trying to be a pop guy.
Yeah, I mean, when the rhythm takes you over.
Yeah.
What's he been up to lately?
I was just thinking that right now as I was answering that question.
I truly.
Like, didn't he marry Maria Kornikova and then disappear off the face of the earth?
He dated or married someone like who was also. He was kind of on the downslope, and she was on the upslope. So she was kind of like crazy famous, and then I don't know. Maybe he's just like being a dad somewhere.
Yeah, maybe they just left the limelight. Who knows?
I can respect it.
Yeah. He had some bops, let me tell you. Like.
Oh yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It's like music that's you listen to. It comes on, you're not gonna turn it off.
Right. Yeah.
You may not like request that song in a party, but if it comes on the radio, you're not gonna turn it off.
Yeah, I get that.
All right, are we ready for some big questions?
Ooh, we're getting deeper.
Yeah. No, that's another game.
That's another game. Yeah.
That's another game. Okay, so big questions. This is yours. If you could be good at something overnight, what would it be?
Playing piano.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I've always wanted to be that guy who shows up to a party, goes, "Oh, you have a piano," and then just starts playing it. Because I know those people, and I'm very impressed by those people.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I think like any musical instrument just overnight, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, right? Either a piano or a guitar. The only thing is I feel like pianos are constantly in tune, whereas like you walk up to somebody's house and they've got a guitar and it's like, oh, I've got to tune it first to get it going.
Right, but if someone has to tune a piano, so I would argue a guitar is more in tune than a piano because you're tuning the guitar yourself.
Yeah.
As opposed to a piano where you have to call someone to come and tune it for you.
That's a good point. But for the most part, though, if a piano's just sitting there in somebody's home, it's going to be in tune. You usually have to tune a piano when you move it.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so any musical instrument really, yeah.
Yeah, I think any musical instrument, that'd be pretty cool.
Uh-huh. Clearly, I've thought about this before.
Right, yeah. No, that's such a good answer. I'm not going to steal that answer, although I fully think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
I guess, you know what? I would want to speak Spanish better than I do.
Okay,
That's what I would want, I think.
that's a good one.
Yeah. Or speak another language, even.
Sure.
Speak several languages. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that. I would just download the language and put it in my brain.
I mean, there's a few languages I would love to. I'd love to learn French. I would love to learn Portuguese. One of the things I'm never going to get over is that I really wanted to learn French in high school, right? So that I could be trilingual. But my parents insisted that I take Spanish classes because it was my native tongue and I was starting to lose my native tongue. But it's like, I live in Miami. I'm going to pick up Spanish. And honestly, I learned more Spanish from my Cuban girlfriends than I ever did from the class.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, you speak it at home, too.
And I speak it at home.
Like, we have tons of access to TV and movies in
Yes.
Spanish here that a lot of other people don't.
Whereas if I learned French, I could have, I don't know. If only we had a friend who was a French teacher that I could just, teach off of.
No, I'm not interested in learning French.
No? So besides Spanish, what other language do you want to learn?
I would like to learn Spanish. I would like to learn Russian, only because Russian is hella hard to learn, and it would be so impressive if I could just, до свидания.
Right.
Yeah. Really, I would just, learn Russian for the stunting, basically.
Go to Russia and let them speak about you because they don't think you know the language, and then be like, привет, my friend.
Yes. And then maybe Italian, just because I like it.
Italian's a good one.
I feel like I could get by maybe in Portugal. Between Spanish and Italian, I feel like I could get by in Portugal. Oh, look. The Rolls Royce in front of us must be a fan. Their license plate is 69 Ghost.
Nice.
Yeah. Thanks for listening to the pod, Rolls Royce driver.
I wonder if they're listening to us right now.
I am certain that they are not. Certain that they
You don't
are
think
not.
people who drive Rolls Royce are in a target demographic?
I don't believe that is the case. I would be shocked. If you listen to this podcast and also drive a Rolls Royce, that is a very tiny Venn diagram. Okay. Next big question. This is my big question.
Yeah.
Do you have any bad habits that you wish you could break? What are they? Yeah, I do. I think everybody has bad habits that they wish they could break. I get real, I'm trying to think, what did I even do today that's a bad habit? I cut people off when talking sometimes because my brain is just like, oh, squirrel. And then I'm like, I have to say this thing, I have to say it. And it's not that I'm not listening.
Yeah.
It's that, I have to say that I have to say it. And that's probably not good. It's not good for conversation and listening.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I also feel like I'm a little messy. I could be a little bit less messy.
Yeah.
Just, picking stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain areas of the house where I'm like, no, this has to be picked up. And then other areas where I'm just like, oh, this is a giant pile of stuff that I will address eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are two.
Kind of the same. I mean, you've seen my apartment. It's I need to be better about cleaning and picking up. But the thing is, I spend such little time there that when I am there, it's like I just kind of want to sit and watch TV for a little bit. But I need to be better about cleaning and picking up after myself. It's not bad. It's just I just need to all these deliveries. I need to organize them. All these.
Yeah, mail is a big one. It just piles up and piles up and piles up and piles up until I'm like, and then
And I honestly, I can't tell you the last time I checked my mailbox. Because it's always trash, and it's always spam, and it's always garbage and mailers, and I never get anything that matters. So I just leave it for months at a time.
Yeah, and we still get mail. We've been living in our place for, I guess, almost like 2 or 3 years, like long, like a long time. And we still get mail for tons of people that are not us.
Right.
Like, we get mail for the people who lived there before we got there. We started getting mail for some other guy who is not us, but like must be a history buff because he gets some sort of like scholarly journal about history. We started getting our neighbor's mail, like it's her name but our apartment number.
Yeah.
So every time we get a new piece of mail for some mystery person, it's like, oh, this is another new name.
Yeah.
But it just piles up. I've taken it just throwing it away. We've lived there long enough to where.
Yeah. Like if you haven't come looking for this.
Exactly. We sent everything, return to sender for a year. And then after that, we were just like, okay. And the post office gave us the okay.
You want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
So again, I don't check my mail for months at a time, especially during quarantine because I was sheltering in place with my parents. So at one point I went to go check my mail, and the person who lived in that apartment before mine, their stimulus check came to my mailbox.
Yeah.
So I had their stimulus check for months just sitting in my mailbox, and they never got it. I mean, they got it eventually because once I checked it, I gave it to them. But
stimulus check, you remember that?
Yeah, remember stimulus checks? That was like word of the year.
Where they were like, "Hey, everyone spend this," and everybody's like, "Nah, boo."
Yeah. Like times are tough.
Right.
I'm not spending any of this.
Nah, boo. We're trying to save this.
You know what this is going for? The next time I get a flat tire. The next time.
Yeah. This is like going back into the savings that I had to.
Yep.
Drain a little bit of in order to
exactly
stay at home longer or whatever the case may have been. Yep. Anyway, so those were our big questions. Now we've got bigger questions.
Yep.
Ready for 2 bigger questions?
I'm ready for 2 bigger questions.
All right. I'm going to give these a shuffle. These are the ones that I threw on the floor. So these are shuffled by my hands, shuffled by a toss onto the floor of the car. Okay, bigger questions. Do you think you'll ever be famous? What do you think you'll be famous for?
Ooh, interesting question. Fame is such a gray area, though. Like, what is fame? Is it being recognized somewhere for something that you do? Because that's already happened to me a bunch of times.
Yeah.
It's happened to you.
Yeah.
Is fame like you make money just off your name? Because I've also got a few sponsorship things that have happened before. So I guess, yeah.
I mean, I think it's levels, right? And also there's like certain circles. Like there are people who are famous to me that like nobody else has ever heard of.
Right, yeah.
Like, they're linguists or they're like, I follow their work on whatever particular subject. I just like really like them and they make me nerd out.
Yeah.
And like they're famous to me. But like, if you're not interested in linguistics or in that particular area, you would never really know who they are. So I think it's relative, right?
Yeah, right.
But like, let's define it as.
Like I've specifically had people go to me and go like, "Oh, you're the famous Dash," and I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know I was famous."
Oh, I guess you are famous then. So
I guess, yeah. Somebody specifically said I'm famous for. My reputation precedes me, just my work ethic, and I will say this: I myself may not be entirely famous, but a character that I play is.
Janet Jackson is coming in April. Oh my gosh, yes, Queen.
Yeah.
She's fantastic.
So we're losing light.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
Go ahead. What is it? What do you think you'd be famous
I
for?
don't want to be famous. I'm not interested in it. It seems hard. People would be mean and nasty to me, and it would make me feel not okay inside, and I don't have a skin thick enough to tell people what they should do when they're mean. So I don't really want to be famous
Okay.
in any way, but I guess it would be with something related to either improv or playwriting, some theater sort of thing.
Okay.
Would probably be it. Just because that's the most public thing that I do, other than like
Right.
teaching for a public school. But
Okay.
what famous teacher do you know?
Right. Yeah. Right.
They're not famous for teaching.
They're not famous for teaching. They're famous for like other stuff that they've done.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah, it was a great day when we started this podcast, and it's
Yeah,
not
the lighting
getting
was
any better.
spectacular when we started.
Last question. Do you talk in your sleep, and how do you know?
I would not know. So.
I hear the secrets that you keep.
So I don't
when you're
think I talk
talking
in my sleep. But even if I like, there's no way for me to know. So I have done like snoring apps on my phone, and you know when you listen to it, it's just snoring, or it used to be just snoring. I don't snore anymore, but
You mean it like records you?
yeah, it records me while I sleep,
Oh, wow.
and then lets you
Okay.
know like how loud
That's
your snoring is.
Wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I think I used to. My parents told me I used to talk a lot in my sleep because I didn't talk that much in the daytime, so I
Yeah.
think I had to like get it out while I was sleeping. But I don't think I sleep well enough now to like get deep enough into sleep to where I would be talking to people. But yeah, hearing someone talk in their sleep is
It's wild.
wild. It's wild. Wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think I talk in my sleep anymore. I think I did as a kid.
All right. Yeah. I don't either. All right. Those are great questions. Those are good questions.
This
to,
is
like,
a,
to know
this
people.
would be a great game. Again, it's called Let's Get Talking. It's from the What Do You Meme? But this is definitely like a kid-friendly game. So if you are a person with kids, the age is 8+. So, you know, throw it in your bag or throw it in one of your kids' bags at a road trip. You got to drive somewhere, or throw it in the pocket of your car, and you can kind of do some questions with them when you're driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, cool. So we hope you've enjoyed coming along with us on this road trip, and we'll catch you next time.
We're going to say bye before the light fades on us.
Yeah, correct. All right, little ghosties, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now we'd love to hear from you.
You can visit playdatepod.us to watch our videos,
Access our episode library,
find out more about our brand of quality, clean comedy.
and contact us with any questions or comments.
Improvisers love audience suggestions, so make sure you visit playdatepod.us.
And the podcast you just heard was a production of Society Circus Players.
If you like what you heard today, please rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend.
And finally, if life's a circus, we're the clowns!
I gotta tell you, this extension is a hit and run because,
Extension?
yeah, so this never existed before. Like, it just opened up within the last year or two. So when I was growing up here in Hialeah, we didn't have this turnpike connection. The only way to get the turnpike was either take 595 all the way across to where it hits the turnpike, or find a way to get to 95 and go up to the turnpike.
All this highway talk has been fascinating. Hey, little ghosties.